Oh my gosh. Carol! With no E. Carol. Hi, it's Vicky. Okay. Call me a creeper. In fact, call me Momo. 'Cause I'm as much of a pool creeper as Momo. Okay, so it's Saturday morning. Nate has joined Boy Scouts. Yeah, it seems like yesterday. I was behind the doctor's shoulder saying, he's almost here, he is almost here, at his birth. And now, today, he's off to Boy Scouts. Saturday mornings is my and Nate's day of love. And he's ditched me for some guys in blue uniforms. That's low, Natey. Low blow. So, since I have no life, I'm going to do a video response to one happy, crafty chicks. The pool is finally finished video. Carol, I just left you 3 comments on your channel, and I could see myself needing to leave 6 comments, boxes. I mean, not 6 words. I mean, filling up the maximum requirement of 300 or 500 characters. I could see me doing that 6 times. So I thought, you know what? Nothing beats the human voice. I'm going to leave her a video response. I have to admit, when I was watching your video and you said, Vicky, hi Vicky, I know you're watching, kind of creeped me out. Yeah, I creeped myself out. But I have to tell you guys something. I have always loved a decorated, well-loved home. When I was 16 years old, you guys won't believe this, I didn't have my driver's license yet. In fact, maybe I was 15 or 17. Yeah, I think that's it, because when I was 16, I did get my driver's license for my birthday. Anyway, now we're going back a long time ago. In fact, not to get too off track here, but can I tell you guys something odd? The day I got my driver's license and took my test is the day Elvis Presley was found dead. Okay, not like a good time for him and his family, and it was even sad for me. I wasn't a big Elvis fan, but my mom was, so I'll never forget that. I got my driver's license, and I went to one of my friend's house, and a bunch of kids were there, and when I got there, I was like, I got my driver's license! And they was like, wow, guess what? Elvis Presley died. And I was like, wow, really? I thought they was teasing. So anyway, just a little side note about myself. Back to the pool business. So to tell you a little something else about myself, when I was like 15 or 17, for my birthday, I got, because I asked for it, home interiors merchandise. I'll never forget it. It was an oval picture of a couple on a bridge overlooking a little stream of water, and the matching butterflies and a shelf that goes on your wall. And home interiors, for those of you who probably weren't even born at that time, home interiors was this company, and they had all of this like home decor for your walls, and they would have a whole set of wall decoration. A picture, a shelf, a butterfly, a other ornamental items that you could hang on the wall, and they would call it a grouping. And that's what I got. Not for my bedroom. Oh, no, no. For our living room. What 15, 17-year-old girl does that? And my mom, she was not into that stuff. Listen, she would buy things at like these dollar stores and hang on the wall. And it just used to, oh, I was upset. I was embarrassed. Who did I think I was? A Rockefeller? Anyway, I asked for that set. So I've just always really been into home decor, home renovations, and making your home feel comfortable and loved. I never really went through the hoity-toity stage. You know what I mean? Like, I've always liked my home, whether it was my home or an apartment. I wanted it to feel comfortable, and you didn't have to worry about stretching out on the couch or putting a glass on the end table. But I also took very good care of the things that I had through the years. The only time when we bought our first home, my husband and I, we had a living room that you entered into, and it led its way into a kitchen, and the eating kitchen is what I'm trying to say. And then downstairs was a family room. So when we bought that first house, since it was my first home, for about 2 years, that living room was the living room that did not have a TV in it, that was exquisite furniture and an exquisite setting. We really never sat in there unless we had company. And that was usually like, the type of company was like Christmas get-togethers when we had run out of seating elsewhere. I did that for 2 years, and then I was like, you know what? For one, I've got young boys. You know, the boys were like 10, 11. I cannot keep them off this couch and chairs. I can't have one room in my house that we cannot live in. So I did away with the glass top tables and the furniture that you cannot roll around on. So I guess my point is, my home is definitely my castle. So I really, really, really loved watching the renovation of your pool, Carol. And oh my gosh, it just looks beautiful. And if you don't subscribe to Carol and you don't know what I'm talking about, and we'll probably get a thumbs down, or you're going to probably unsub from me. But you know what? To see Carol's pool was worth it. And this is her pool. Go over and check out One Happy Crafty Chick. You're probably already subscribed to her, but if you're not, give her a look-see. If you watch my channel because you like layouts and a card every now and then, or you watch my channel, and unfortunately a lot of people say this, that's okay, I'm good, I am good with it, but they say, you know, I'm not really into crafts, but I think you're cray-cray, so I like watching your channel. Listen, if you think I'm cray-cray, Carol's cray-cray too, which is why I like her. Listen, birds of a feather flock together. Anyway, Carol, I just had to leave this because, oh, I loved your little patio area because I love the lattice that is behind it. I love lattice. I don't know what it is. Then I said in my comment on your channel, did y'all win the lottery? Are you a descendant of the Rockefellers? Is your husband actually last name Trump? How in the world do you buy cushions for your patio furniture every year? Can I tell you, every time that it gets to the point where we have to buy new cushions for our patio furniture, I want to cry. Now, we take our cushions in at the end of the season, and I also, as soon as I get new cushions, I spray them with Scotch Guard, and it really does help, because when I used to not, and now that I do, I can see that they do last a little bit longer. But girlfriend, I could have died the last time I had to buy cushions and pads for our patio furniture. Okay, like I have these two wicker loungers by the pool, and oh my gosh, a pad for that lounger was almost $80, not on sale. Okay, you know, your girl Vicky, I did not buy that cushion when it was not on sale. And I forget I forget who had those cushions, because it was like an inexpensive store. It's not like I was at Pier 1 or Gucci to get a cushion for my chair. And the bad thing is, I only paid $200 for the chair and the pad when I bought it. Yeah, so I'm like, those cushions, if I knew how, I would probably make cushions for our patio furniture, which would probably be just as expensive, because back in my day, when I was a teenager, if you did crafts, you could save a lot of money on home decor. If you sewed, you could save a lot of money on your clothing. But these days, that stuff is so expensive. It's almost as cheap to go out and buy store-made. Okay, so anyway, Carol, I just had to make a video response. I was so excited that your pool's finished, and when you was talking about floating around and using the palm to pull yourself along, oh my gosh, I was like, that sounds like so much fun. And listen, I do the same thing in my pool, but it would be fun to do that with you. Why do we have to live so far apart from these people, these sisters that we find on the World Wide Web? I should be the poster child for people like myself 2 years ago who say, don't talk to people on the internet. They're posers. They are never who they say they are. I should be the poster child for get over that, because you most certainly can form a friendship, a relationship. You can connect with a person that you've not met in person. I'm living proof of that, because I would invite Carol and her whole darn family to stay with me for spring vacation. And that's not my style. I am weird. We have a guest room in our house. Like, we made it so that when the kids wanted to spend the night, or if we had family or friends in, blah, 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 that they could stay in the guest room. And do you know, I don't let people sleep in there. I'm like, yeah, their feet are dirty. I don't really want them on my new sheets. I make the kids sleep on the floors and the couches. But I would let Carol and her family stay in there. I would. And listen, 3 years ago, I used to tell the kids, who are you talking to on the internet? You idiot. You don't know who that is. And my son would say, oh, I met this nice girl on the internet. I wish she lived closer, but she lives in St. Louis and blah, blah. I might go there to see her. Now, he's 26, 27 years old when he's saying this. And I'm like, you are not going to meet somebody off the internet. You're going to get there and they're going to drug you and take your kidney. And I was serious. Or else I would say, you don't know who you're talking to. You think you're talking to some 25-year-old girl that's got her life together, but really, it's a pedophile. A 72-year-old pedophile that just got out of prison. And here I am, inviting somebody's whole family in. And oh my gosh, I'm sad that I can't float around that pool. Or I can't have Carol to float here with me. Carol, I had to laugh because I do the same thing. And I get it about the family. Oh, I outlast the kids by 93%. Usually on the weekends, the kids are all here. You never know who may be here to swim on the weekends. And if my son is putting together a party, for him and Nate and their friends, I will still go out to the pool, but I will exit. I like to get out to the pool by 10, 11 a.m. And if he's having company, his friends, I'll leave 1:30 to 2:30. I'll get out of there and give them their space. But up until that time, I'm right in the middle of their little circles, asking them, so what does your mother do? What does your father do? Where'd you grow up at? Do you have any kids? Oh, how many times you been married? How old are you? Is that hair color real? Oh, yeah. I'm that mother. I'm also that mother that says, oh, no. You can't use that raft. That raft is my raft. That raft costs $35. But I do have a collection of rafts that you may select from for guests. And you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. I have to show you a picture that we took years ago of my raft collection. My husband gets so mad at me because when we open the pool, here's my job. I blow up all the rafts. And I don't just buy rafts for myself. Oh no, there really are several categories of rafts. There are rafts for the children, and the rafts range age 0 to 2 years old, 2 to 4 years old, 4 to 7 years old, 7 to 12 years old. And then, from there, it then breaks down to rafts for me and rafts for them. I bet you we have 40 plus rafts. Now, I don't blow them all up. And then I buy pool toys. From diving sticks and fins you put on your feet, web feet things, to goggles, to basketball, to this one, oh Carol, there's this one fun game, and it has like this ball that's about the size of a tennis ball, and it can get wet, and then you have paddles with it. As soon as we pull that stuff out, I will show it to you, because Nate and I love to play that game inside the pool. That's the weekends, and I love those times. And we've got the radio, well, actually CDs on. I usually play U2. Everybody is like, oh boy. Oh, I like some hard, old school R&B. Now, I'm not talking Marvin Gaye, okay? I am talking Cameo, Rick James, Isley Brothers, and I'm sure his friends are looking at me like, what? Is this a mistake? Because I guess they expect me to listen to Frank Sinatra, country music. Oh, no, no. I like music with a beat. So I will have Bono on the boom box, or old school R&B. To calm it down a little bit, I'll put some Shaka Khan on. Nobody likes to hear me put Shaka Khan on because you know what happens? I sing loud. And I can't sing, and I don't care. It's my yard, it's my pool, it's my CD, and I'll sing if I wanna. And I sing very loud. And I admire Shaka Khan, so it can get ugly. So that's the weekends. Now, on the weekdays, well, you never know who may be here then because of vacations and me inviting people over, or, if Eric or my husband's on vacation, we'll have people here. But on your normal weekday, and here's why I had to do this video. I get out there, I take the phone outside, so if it rings I can answer it. I take my water out, I take my fingernail polish out, I take my scrapbook magazines out. Because sometimes I'll just stand there at the edge of the pool where the sun is hitting so I get some sun. And I'll browse through my scrapbook magazines. I also take a pen and a pad of paper in case I want to remember something in one of the magazines. And now when it's time for me to mount my raft, I will put on audiobooks. Oh, Carol, if you don't do that, you gotta give it a try. It is heaven to be laying upon your float. Life is good. I'll take a little sweet tea out. Remember, I'm an Italian hillbilly, so I make my sweet tea. And if you need the recipe for that, let me know. I'll be glad to send it to you. Anyway, and I don't do sun tea. No. I do sweet tea. I get on that raft and I put in, well, last year the first book on tape I listened to was by Karen Gravinsky or Gravons. Anyway, it's the Mob Wives show, her autobiography. On a 1 to 5 scale, I'd give that a 3.5. It wasn't too bad. I liked the show, but it wasn't bad. But I'll go to the library and get books on tape. And they have it on CD, they have them on audio cassette. And listen to this. I have an old boom box. I cannot find one to replace this thing because we've left it out in the rain. I can't tell you how many times, and it still works. I'm always afraid they're going to find me dead laying by that boombox when I go to plug it in because there's water in there. But what a way to go. Cancel clear. Anyway, it has a remote control. Yes. So I'm on my raft, and on my belly is the remote control to the boombox and the telephone. Oh, and my spray bottle. Yeah, so I can spray myself. Sometimes I splash the water, sometimes I spray myself. Everybody always says, why are you carrying that spray bottle if you're in a pool? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for them. So anyway, you've got to try the audiobooks on tape. You'll just love that. You know who I ended up really enjoying was Tori Spelling. I liked hearing about her life. I listened to John Saul, Harbin Cohen. I kind of like a murder mystery, psychological thriller type of book. Mary Higgins Clark. Sometimes she does a great book and sometimes not. Anyway, and then Your normal bestseller. You know, I'm not 50 Shades of Grey type of girl, so that wasn't, I think I read about 3 pages of that and I was like, yeah, been there, done that. Okay, we're getting R-rated here, so Carol, your pool looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, and one more thing. When you was like, every year we buy annuals, but then we buy something that will stay around, a perennial. We do the same thing. Because perennials tend to be a little bit more expensive, and it's been my experience. Keep in mind, we're in Ohio, so we don't have always the best growing conditions, but perennials, it seems like it takes them about 2 years to look good. So I love the annuals. I hate how expensive they are and that they only last for a season. We do spend probably too much money on flowers and landscaping, and I can't wait. It's almost time for us to go flower shopping. We don't usually go. It's kind of rule of thumb here in Ohio and I guess surrounding areas. You don't want to really plant anything until after Mother's Day because we could still go into a freeze. Yeah. So that's our weather, and I'm so jealous that you've already got your pool up and you could possibly get in the next couple of weeks. We definitely won't open the pool until probably mid-May, and we open our pool a lot sooner than most people do around here. I have to tell you one other short story. When we found this place, we had been looking for 1 year. Yeah. My husband and I were standing in the backyard looking at the pool. And in my thoughts, I was thinking to myself, I hate that stupid kitchen. The kitchen is too small. It does not have enough storage for me. I am a cook. I like to live in the kitchen, not cooking, but I like for it to be big enough when we have guests, they can be in there with me. And I like to cook in big doses. Well, we have 4 children, and you think as the kids get older, you will downsize. You're going to go to a smaller home. Well, you don't, because your kids grow up and they take on spouses and partners and significant others. They get married, they get divorced, they have kids, blah, blah, blah. Our family has grown from the 4 children, which 3 of them now have our grandsons. Now we're up to 7. And then you've got, at any given time, girlfriends. That's going to be 11 people potentially in your home for a small get-together. So I don't know how older people downsize as their children get older. I need a big kitchen to cook for 10 plus people. And usually when we have all the kids over, we have my mom and dad-in-law. So there again, you've got 13 people. Now the kids are dating women who have kids. It's like the darn Walton family around here. So anyway, we're standing there. I'm looking over the pool. I'm thinking, I hate that kitchen, but I love the pool. I mean, I love water. Oh my gosh, I love water. I'm thinking pool kitchen. And I'm weighing the options. And I'm like, you know what? Pool! And then I think to myself, Vicky, you are a 40-plus-year-old woman, and you are picking a swimming pool over your kitchen? So my husband turns to me, he goes, what do you think? Should we put in a bid? And I said, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think I can make a wise decision? I can't answer you. And he says, why not? And I said, I'm like a child, a teenager standing here. I'm thinking, I don't care what the inside of that house looks like. I want this pool. So he laughs and he says, well, you want to know what I was thinking? And I said, yeah, because I'm thinking he is going to be the voice of reason. And he says, I was thinking I can store my fishing boat right over there behind that fence. And the lake that he likes to go fishing at was only 7 minutes from here. He said he was standing there thinking, I could have the boat loaded up, be in my truck, and at the fishing lake within 30 minutes. Be in my truck and at the fishing lake within 30 minutes. I told him, I said, you know what? We ain't right, are we? Most people our age would be thinking, well, this is not a very wise buy. But we're like, yeah, we got the pool and we got fishing. Let's not worry about doing the right thing. Let's just have fun. So, but you know what? We do enjoy that pool. Even he does. And he was kind of against the pool at first because of all the work. And it's a great magnet for the kids. If we didn't have that pool, we probably would never see my stepkids or the grandkids. And don't think I don't use that to my advantage. I trick them. I bribe them. I sure do. And I'm proud of it. And it's not like I just started doing it in my old age. I've always bribed them. And I've always tricked them. If you do this, I'll do that. If you don't do that, I'm not going to do this. So, I'm very proud that I have bribed and tricked the children through their entire lives. Okay, Carol, so there's my little story for the day. Gosh, listen, I'm going to leave you all forewarning that this is 50 Shades of Vicky. Speaking of that book, okay? This has nothing to do with crafty stuff, except for the fact that Carol and I both love scrapbook layouts. She loves cards. Now, she can do a card right. And we both love our pools and our families. Again, Carol, it looks gorgeous, gorgeous. I would love nothing better than to be floating on a float beside you in that pool. We could even get one of those floats for 2 people. Yeah, I got one for me and my husband, but we never get on it together because, he'll flip me off and he takes up more than his share of the float. But I'd share it with you. And then on the side of the pool, we could put our coffee, and I'll bring sweet tea. Oh yes, an Italian hillbilly would never, ever come to your home empty-handed. You know what? I ain't right, am I? And I know ain't a word. Have a great weekend, everybody. Carol, you got me so excited to get our pool open. And I'll have to tell you, my husband is working on some type of secret device to where he will run some tubing or something through the landscape so you can't see it. And the water that filters back into the pool is heated by the sun. I don't know how this is going to work. And he better not have no stuff sticking up around my tulips and my daffodils. I don't know. But apparently he's going to lay down this pipes or tubes, funnels, and it'll go in through the pool filter. And it can heat up the pool. It can get so warm, you won't even want it that warm. You'll have to shut it off. And he'll use a fennel glass fernal. It's some type of magnifying glass that is in projection TVs, like the old projection TVs. You can get them on eBay for $5 or $10. Anyway, I'm only telling you this so you can tell your husband. He may know what I'm talking about. If he's interested in more detail about that, shoot me a private message and I'll ask my husband for the specifics, because he tells me all this, but I don't really listen. I just listen for the first few minutes. I get bits and pieces and then I go into my own world. Otherwise I'll have to listen about his job and about fishing bait that worked best, and it ain't happening. I love you, honey. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.